Welcome to the Tuesday, December 21st, Montgomery County Commission meeting. Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Rice,
Here.
Commissioner Lieberman,
Here.
Commissioner Dodge.
Here. Stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, first up, County Engineer.
Good afternoon, Commissioners, Administrators, ladies and gentlemen. We have just two resolutions today, as we, both of them to advertise for projects as we start our 2022 construction program. The first is Resolution 21-1566 for the Air Hill Road Bridge Reconstruction Project in Kern Township at an estimated cost of $420,000. 1567 is 2022 asphalt concrete resurfacing program countywide at an estimated cost of $2,590,000.
I move for approval. Second. All those in favor? Aye. County Sheriff.
Thank you, Commissioners. Under the County Sheriff, we have Resolution 1568, authorizing an agreement with the Dayton Veterans Affairs Medical Center Police Service for the use of Sheriff's Office Regional Training Center firing range. We have Resolution 1569, extended price agreement with Aramark Correctional Services, LLC for detention food services for the Sheriff's Office and Juvenile Court through December 31st, 2022.
I move for approval. I second. All those in favor? Aye. Common Police Court.
Under the Common Police Court, we have Resolution 1570, authorizing an agreement with Dayton Metro Library to provide meeting space in an amount not to exceed $10,300 through January 26, 2022.
I move for approval. Second. All those in favor? Aye. Probate Court.
Under the Probate Court, we have Resolution 1571, authorizing a renewal option with Tiberia Development Group, Inc. for software and services to extend the existing e-filing system in an amount not to exceed $44,000 through December 31st, 2021.
I move for approval. I second. All those in favor? Aye. Juvenile Court.
Good afternoon, thank you, Commissioners. We have two items. First on the agenda is 1572, which is authorize an agreement with K-12 Gallery for Young People to provide enhancements of education services to juveniles involved with juvenile court schools in an amount not to exceed $80,000 through December 31st, 2022. And we have a late addition. It's 1644, which is authorized an agreement with Sadler Knee Camp Financial Services Incorporated, doing business as SoftTech, to provide software maintenance and an extended warranty for the Juvenile Case Management System, JCS, in an amount not to exceed $133,900 through December 31st, 2022.
I move for approval. Second. All those in favor? Aye. Auditor's Office.
Thank you, Commissioners. Under the County Auditor's Office, we have Resolution 1573, authorizing an agreement with Local Government Services Section of the Office of the Auditor of State, LGS, for a compilation of financial statements for the year ending December 31st, 2021, at a cost not to exceed $37,500 through December 31st, 2022.
I move for approval. I second. All those in favor? Aye. Miami Valley Regional Crime Lab.
Under the Miami Valley Regional Crime Lab, we have Resolution 1574, accept a grant from the U.S. Department of Justice, Bureau of Justice Assistance for the FY 2021 DNA Capacity Enhancement for Backlog Reduction Program in an amount of $313,826.
I move for approval. Second. All those in favor? Aye. Board of Elections.
Under the Board of Elections, we have Resolution 1575, request proposals for ballot printing and mailing services.
I move for approval. I second. All those in favor? Aye. County Administrator.
Under the County Administrator, under the Clerk's Office, approve the minutes of the meetings on December 14th, 2021. Resolution 1576, approval of bills. And Resolution 1577, approval of travel and expenses. Both those lists are available in the Clerk's office.
I move for approval. Second. All those in favor? Aye. Administrative Services. Tyler.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. A number of resolutions for your consideration today, as well as three late items. The first is 1578. This is the approval of personnel actions. This list is available in the clerk's office. 1579, authorize the renewal of the maintenance services agreement with Neptune Equipment Company for meter reading equipment and software for the Environmental Services Department at an annual cost not to exceed $9,600 through December 31st, 2026. 1580 renews the agreement with Superior Dental Incorporated for dental benefits to enroll employees and their dependents through December 31st of 2022. 1581 authorizes a change order to the agreement with Soundcom Systems for audiovisual equipment for the 10th floor hearing room renovation project by adding $1,910 to the original amount for a buy total of $93,185.33 due to a change in scope of work. The following two resolutions authorize lease renewal options through December 31st of 2022. The first is 1582 with the Montgomery County Abstractors Association for the leasing of 544 square feet of office space on the 5th floor of the administration building at a rate of $45 per desk per month. And 1583 with Randolph Investments LLC on behalf of the Clerk of Courts Auto Title Division for the leasing of 1,000 square feet of office space located in the Randolph Plaza Shopping Center in an annual amount of $9,500. The next two resolutions authorize payments of runout claims for calendar year 2022. 1584 with UMR Incorporated for the Montgomery County Self-Funded Health Plan in an amount not to exceed $5 million. And 1585 with Med Impact Healthcare Systems Incorporated for the Montgomery County Self-Funded Pharmacy Plan in an amount not to exceed $1,400,000. The following resolutions extend price agreements. The first is 1586 with Central LLC for biosolids management services for the Environmental Services Department through December 31st of 2022. And 1587 with Greenwave Computer Recycling for electronics recycling services for the Environmental Services Department through January 31st of 2023. And last is 1588 with the YMCA of Greater Dayton for biometric screenings in an amount not to exceed $95,000 to December 31st of 2022. As for late items, the first is 1645. This amends the agreement with NAFCare Incorporated for inmate medical services at a cost not to exceed $849,429.38 and extending the term through February 28th, 2022. This is just to give us a little bit more time to finish negotiations on a long-term contract. 1646 authorizes a service agreement with Franklin Iron and Metal Incorporated for scrap metal removal services through December 31st, 2022, with options to renew. And last is 1647, which authorizes a sole source purchase from Central Square for annual maintenance and software support for the Environmental Services Department in an amount not to exceed $126,512.89.
Move for approval.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye. Environmental Services, now.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. For Environmental Services, we have 1589, adopt the current backflow prevention and cross-connection control program, which provides an effective means for protecting the public water system from contamination due to backflow of contaminants through the water service connection. 1590, amend the agreement with Rumpke of Ohio Incorporated for transloading of approved in-district commercial and out-of-district residential commercial solid waste by extending the term through December 31st, 2028. 1591, approve the plan, specifications, and estimated cost of $380,000 and solicit bids for construction of sewer facilities for the erosion control Site 14 project. 1592, accept the subdivider's contract from Kettering Self-Storage Investors, LLC for the Kettering Self-Storage Development. The next three are to release 100% of the subdivider's contracts and cash sureties. 1593 with City of Centerville for the Grove at Yankee Trace Sewer. 1594 with Yankee Trace Weeds LLC for the Grove at Yankee Trace Water. And 1595 Woodland Greens at Yankee Trace LLC for Woodlands Greens Section 1.
I move for approval.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Human Services.
Good afternoon. I have a lengthy list of items this afternoon. I'll begin with Human Services Planning and Development. Resolution 1596 will approve an interagency agreement on behalf of the Family and Children First Council for the transition from early intervention services, Part C, to preschool education programs, Part D, and other appropriate services. 1597 will authorize the delegation of activities agreement with Hopeful for COVID-19 homelessness prevention and rapid rehousing services in an amount not to exceed $242,900 through June 30th of 2022. 1598 will authorize a price agreement with Dayton Children's Hospital, Kettering Health Main Campus, Dayton Campus, Washington Township Campus, and Miamisburg Campus, Miami Valley Hospital Main, North, and South campuses for medical treatment and services to indigent ill residents in an amount not to exceed $5 million through December 31st of 2022. 1599 will amend the agreement with YWCA for Dayton for COVID-19 emergency shelter response activities, operations, and improvements by increasing the original amount by $428,000 for a revised total not to exceed $469,599 and extending the term through to September 30th of 2022. 1600 will submit a grant application to the Ohio Department of Development for CARES Act Community Development Block Grant, CDBG CV funding in an amount not to exceed $3,500,000. 1601 will submit a Communities of Support grant application to the Ohio Department of Job and Family Services to establish a Community of Support network in an amount not to exceed $10,000 through June 30th of 2022. 1602 will accept a grant from the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development for continuum care planning in the amount of $311,566. 1603 will authorize a contribution of $745 to the Joint Office of Citizen Complaints, also known as the Ombudsman, to assist residents with information, referral, and investigative services concerning government services and operations through December 31st of 2022. And then we need to authorize 3 agreements. 1604 is with Preschool Promise Incorporated to provide professional support for the early care and education birth to 3 initiatives in an amount not to exceed $50,000 through December 31st of 2022. 1605 is with YWCA Dayton for coordinated entry assessment in an amount not to exceed $175,000 through November 30th of 2022. 1606 with the Area Agency on Aging for ComCare services for seniors 60 years and older in an amount not to exceed $8,797,941.36 through December 31st of 2022. Under Human Services Planning and Development, I also have 2 late items. They are 1648, which will authorize an agreement with the Dayton County Arts and Cultural District and Matthew T. Dunn to use the services of Mr. Dunn as the Executive Director of the Arts and Cultural District in an amount not to exceed $20,000 through December 31st of 2022. And in 1649, will amend Resolution 90-1049 by extending the term and authorizing an agreement with the Montgomery County Arts and Cultural District for the preservation and support of arts and cultural heritage in the amount of $900,000 through December 31st of 2022. Then I also have a group of agreements under the Department of Job and Family Services. 1607 will authorize an affiliation agreement with the University of Denver to provide educational field experiences for undergraduate, graduate, and postgraduate candidates pursuing a degree in social work program through December 31st of 2024. 1608 will authorize a subgrant agreement with Dayton Children's Hospital for supportive services for the Kinship Navigator program in an amount not to exceed $108,500 through December 31st of 2022. 1609 will authorize an agreement with Adoption Star Incorporated for adoption services for 3 children in an amount not to exceed $6,900 through September 30th, 2022. 1610 will submit a Communities of Support grant application to the Ohio Department of Job and Family Services to establish a community support network in an amount not to exceed $60,000 through June 30th of 2023. 1611 will authorize the interagency agreement with the Office of Strategic Initiatives for Justice Web interactions and reports in an amount not to exceed $75,000 through December 31st of 2022. 1612 will authorize the interagency agreement between Job and Family Services, Children's Services Division, and the Prosecutor's Office for Legal Services by the Prosecutor's Child Protection Unit. Then we also need to authorize agreements to provide eligibility referral and support services with funding reimbursement in the actual amounts of 50% of expenses incurred for salaries, fringe benefits, and other costs through December 31st of 2022. 1613 is with Foundations Health Solutions, and 1614 is with Kettering Health Network. We also need to authorize agreements to provide child adolescent needs and strengths assessments services through December 31st of 2022. 1615 is with Children Having Options in Caring Environments, also known as Choices Incorporated, in an amount not to exceed $19,947.90. 1616 is with South Community, in an amount not to exceed $19,928.07. We also need to authorize cooperative agreements to establish cooperative procedures for the effective establishment and enforcement of child support obligations through 4D programs through December 31st of 2022. 1617 with Domestic Relations Court for Magistrate Services at a cost not to exceed $1,441,229.07. 1618 with the Clerk of Courts at a cost not to exceed $155,321.47. And then we need to authorize two agreements with United Way of the Greater Dayton Area to provide HealthLink 211 telephone answering services through December 31st of 2022. 1619 with Job and Family Services Adult Protective Services in an amount not to exceed $6,118. 1620 with Job and Family Services Children's Services Division in an amount not to exceed $2,995. And then we have agreements to be authorized through December 31st of 2022. 1621 with Goodwill Easter Seals Miami Valley to provide comprehensive case management and employment program services in an amount not to exceed $1,200,000. 1622 with Prime 2 Holdings, LLC, doing business as Furniture Express to provide furniture and delivery services in an amount not to exceed $65,000. 1623 with YWCA Dayton for emergency shelter in an amount not to exceed $150,000. 1624 with Miami Valley Interpreters, LLC, to provide interpreting services in an amount not to exceed $2,500. 1625 with Propio LLC to provide interpreting services in an amount not to exceed $97,500. 1626 Catholic Social Services of the Miami Valley to provide parenting classes in an amount not to exceed $4,000. And we also need to authorize options through December 31st of 2022. 1627 with the Sheriff's Office to provide security services for the Children's Services Division in an amount not to exceed $298,637. 1628 with the Sheriff's Office to provide security services at the Job Center in an amount not to exceed $140,739. 1629 with the Sheriff's Office to provide security services for the Child Support Enforcement Agency in an amount not to exceed $140,739. 1630 with Senior Resource Connection for representative payee services for the Adult Protective Services Department in an amount not to exceed $118,878. 1631 is with Goodwill ET Seals Miami Valley to provide Ohio Works First and Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program Employment and Training Services in an amount not to exceed $575,000. 1632 with Children Having Options in Caring Environments to provide reunification services in an amount not to exceed $46,750. 1633 with Dayton Children's Hospital to provide services through the Care House Center in an amount not to exceed $200,000. 1634 with Clothes at Work for interview appropriate clothing and professional workplace attire services for TANF eligible clients in an amount not to exceed $22,000. I also have a late item for Job and Family Services. 1650 will authorize an agreement with Valley Transport LLC to provide non-emergency transportation, broker and transportation services in an amount not to exceed $2,689,741 through December 31st of 2022. Would you like me to take Stillwater, or would you like Michelle to do Stillwater?
She's here. Let's let Michelle do it.
So those, that's HSP and Job and Family.
Thank you, Tom. I move for approval.
Thank you.
I second. All those in favor?
Ah, a lot of work.
Commissioners, while Michelle's coming up, I'd like to weigh in on the page, okay. 1603, I'd just like to add to what Tom said, our continued support for the ombudsman as they do the work of making sure that our residents have a person that they can go to, or persons that they can go to when they need to have access to the system or they're not getting the services they need. We and yourself, I know you all have been very staunch in your support for the ombudsman. So I just wanted to let you know we continue that into next year.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's really important. Yeah, they do a great job.
I've used them myself in help finding elderly care. So very grateful.
Good evening, Commissioners. I have two resolutions for Stillwater Center. The first resolution is 1635 for Dr. Michael Pignatello for psychological services and consultations in an amount not to exceed $38,400. The next resolution I have is 1636 for Gina Wiltice for dietetic services in an amount not to exceed $15,600.
I move to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye. And while you're standing there, last week we were going to recognize you for your most recent award. And I just wanted to make sure that we were able to say congratulations. We're really proud of you. Great work.
So congratulations, Michelle. Thank you, Commissioners. I'd also like to say, getting that award is pretty spectacular. And I know all of you agree. How's it feel now to be, film star?
Well, I already told you you need to get my autograph.
Yeah.
It feels really great. I mean, it feels good to be recognized when you do work that you're not wanting to be recognized for, when you're doing work that you're passionate about. So I think that's what made it special.
Michelle, will you share what it was, since we all know, but.
Yes, it was a documentary, a mini documentary, and it was called The Examination of a Dream. And I've always been fascinated by Martin Luther King. I have read just about everything he's written because he was born on the same day as my dad. And so it was pretty easy for me to put that piece together to try to dispel, I think, some of the rhetoric regarding some of his writings. And many of his writings were prophetic. I mean, if you read some of the things that he wrote in the 50s and the 60s, they're holding true today. So I think it was just a challenge for people to understand that nothing is new under the sun and that we still have a lot of work to do.
That's great. Thank you.
Well, Michelle's being modest, but Michelle, through her work, the documentary that she did, was awarded the best documentary for personal documentary.
That's
So
awesome.
congratulations, Michelle. It's a big deal.
It is.
Business services. Who wants to stand up and talk about it?
I'm taking that one. Thank you very much. Under business services, under community economic development, we amended the agreements, 1637, the City of Heber Heights for the South Point Crossing demolition plan, Phase 2 project by extending the term through June 30th, 2022. We also have 1638, High-Tech AG for support and maintenance services of grants, support of the emergency rental assistance program, sorry about that, by adding $24,299.22 to the original amount for a revised total not to exceed $92,097.14 and extending the term through March 31st, 2022.
I mean for approval.
I second.
All those in favor?
I was just gonna comment on, $92,000, and it's a good thing we're extending the term, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. The work that we have used the grants management solution system for is pretty impressive. So I'm glad we're extending this to an additional term and adding to the.
great, thank you.
Okay, under county commissioners, 21-1639, appoint Kaya Patrick to serve on the Montgomery County Planning Commission for a 3-year term through December 31st, 2024. 1640, appoint Gina Coates to serve on the Montgomery County Planning Commission for a 3-year term through December 31st, 2024. This must be a mistake. 1641, elect Commissioner Carolyn Rice to serve as president of the Board of County Commissioners for the year 2022. Congratulations. God bless you. 1642, set the dates and times for all regular session meetings of the Montgomery County Board of Commissioners for the year 2022. And 1643, appoint designate county commissioners and/or their designees to serve on various boards and committees for a 1-year term. I move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I like the part about and or their designee.
Yeah.
I had to leave it like.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Okay. I have citizens that want to speak. The first one is Rachel Havermill. Rachel, you want to say your name, address, and you have 5 minutes.
Hello, my name is Rachel Habermill. I live at 4441 Weaver Road, Germantown. I spoke to you last month about the rampant stray dog problem in the county and the reoccurring refusal by ARC to help. I am here to speak again today because this issue has only intensified over the last few weeks. Animal shelters play a vital role in a community, and when one does not operate efficiently, it puts a strain on municipal resources. This has never been as apparent as it is now in Montgomery County. Police departments are having to house dogs in their stations, citizens are being injured while trying to catch strays, and regular people like myself are being left a substantial cost to care for these strays. The below photo is of an injury sustained just last month from dog bites while a citizen was trying to help a stray dog. ARC initially refused to come out in this instance, and it took his injury to spur them into action that day. Just yesterday, I had a stray dog on the right brought to me by a Germantown police officer. Once again, ARC had refused to take him. Shortly after he arrived at my house, he lunged and growled at a child. We shouldn't be put in this position. It is only because of caring police officers such as Officer Troy Fox from Germantown that these dogs are being saved. Officer Fox has taken home countless dogs in the middle of the night or brought them to foster homes. This has got to stop. It is not acceptable and does not have to be this way. There are numerous resources for a shelter when they are at capacity. Aside from obvious options such as private boarding facilities, partnering with pet stores and veterinarians, there is the potential for a successful fostering network, such as one that we recently implemented in Germantown. We, private citizens, created a task force of volunteers to short-term foster stray and lost dogs. We have been in contact with several other police departments and offered our help to set up similar task force in their districts. I ask why the ARC isn't doing this already. The number one concern we hear is that people are afraid to be stuck with a dog long-term in spite of 90% of the dogs in our care being returned to their owners. That's exactly what happened to the dog pictured below. He was found by a well-meaning citizen who, after spending several days caring for the dog, had to let him loose after multiple shelters refused to help. Later that day, the dog was found by another person who posted it on Facebook, and the cycle continues. This is inhumane. These dogs deserve better. The tax-paying citizens of Montgomery County deserve better. Below are other pictures of just a small number of the dogs that were failed by your inaction since I spoke last month. I have been contacted by well over 100 people who were turned away when asking for help with strays. It has happened so frequently that I created a Google form for the public to fill out so that we can log these instances. I included copies of the incidents that we received over just a 5-day period. At what point does the commissioners recognize that their current management of strays is failing? At what point will you take action? The rescue community is exhausted and at a breaking point. We need your help, but more importantly, the stray dogs of Montgomery County need your help. I stand here before the board today pleading for an answer to these concerns. I do not want a polite nod and basic acknowledgement. We want answers, and we want them now.
Thank you.
So when can we expect answers on this? Other than just coming to these meetings and asking for help?
When you submit something to the clerk, we'll get back with you. Okay,
What do we need to submit?
we'll use your document, and then we'll use that, and we'll get back with you. Thank you.
Don Faulkner? Sir, would you state your name and address? You have 5 minutes. Thank you.
My name is Donald Faulkner. I live at 46 Hannah Avenue, apartment 2, Dayton, Ohio. My name is Donald Faulkner. I'm a 5th generation honorably discharged veteran whose paternal and maternal grandfathers gave their life in World War II. My father served for 23 years with a tour of Korea and Vietnam and 3 tours in Vietnam. My adopted father and his father also served, as well as many other family members, fighting for the liberty and rights of Ohioans. I'm here before you today because you elected public servants have refused to acknowledge any of the emails, phone calls, and social media contacts that I've sent you concerning the Dayton Premier Property Management Section 8 employee, Annie Roper, hanging up on the phone on me and ignoring my landlord, violating several state and federal laws, most notably 24 CFR 983.353, Section B, Section 3, Section 4, Section B. Whereas Clayton Sears, the CEO of Sears Investment Properties LLC, allegedly has conspired with attorney Scott Oxley, not the attorney of record, brought fraud upon the court to deprive me of my civil rights as retaliation for use of the Section 8 and HUD-VASH programs to report a severe rodent infestation and a scheme to keep the double deposit of $1,400. I've broken no laws. My portion of the rent is paid in full. After failing 2 Section 8 inspections, the 24 CFR 983 Section 1 says that the family is responsible for paying the tenant rent and the rent minus the utility allowance. Section 2, the amount of the tenant rent is determined by the PHA, and it is the maximum amount the owner may charge the family for rent. We contract units to be divided by the owner with additional charge to the tenant in accordance to the HAP contract and lease. Section 3, the owner may not demand or accept any rent payment from the tenant in excess of the tenant rent as determined by the PHA. The owner must immediately return any excess payment to the tenant. Section 4, the family is not responsible for payment of the portion of the rent to the owner covered by the housing assistance payment under the contract. The owner may not terminate the tenancy of a assisted family for non-payment of the PHA housing assistance payment. Yet I went to municipal court in case number 2021 CVG 01362W. And the court participated in this fraud itself by trampling my rights allegedly and threatening me with contempt if I said one more word trying to present my case. They evicted me also in retaliation allegedly for use of the Ohio Supreme Court Disciplinary Council. You public servants allegedly allowed this to happen because you guys are not interested in helping veterans, from what I can see. You're only interested in letting us veterans become homeless statistics. I've contacted many of you by phone, by email, and all for months now, since September, concerning this behavior by the Dayton Premier Property Management. This is Section 8, people. I shouldn't be, my rent's paid in full. I'm not responsible because this guy failed his 2 inspections. But yet the Section 8 people hung up on me, Andy Roper hung up on me, and they let me go to court knowing that this landlord is violating that federal law. I want to know what's going on here, why you guys haven't returned my calls, why you haven't responded to my emails, and how in the world did I go to court and get evicted when my rent is paid? Do we have an answer for that? I mean, why haven't any of you returned my calls or my emails or any communication of, I've given you, sir. I've given you.
Sir,
Yes, sir.
a couple things. One, the county commissioners have no authority over Section 8.
But you guys promote the ombudsman's office and you haven't even referred that. You haven't referred me to them. You haven't returned any calls, any emails. You haven't responded to this. This has been going on since September. I went to court 4 times now, and luckily I won the first 3 cases. I served the sheriff's office. I gave them a notice and I gave the clerk of court notice, and I served the presiding judge, Piercy. I gave them the notification of the deficiencies in their serving a summons that it has the wrong address on it.
Sir, if you could yield the floor, please.
Okay, go ahead.
The time is up. If you could, please sit down, please. Your time is up. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. So when do I get an answer on that? Why didn't you guys answer me?
Thank you, sir. Commissioners?
I think you're up first.
Thank you, Mr. Commissioners. Thank you. Well, Food Yellow Glass America Commissioners is holding an event January 6th at our Employment Opportunity Center, which is just opened a couple of months ago. It is at 4303 West 3rd Street at the Westtown Shopping Center. Now, this is a great opportunity for anyone that is looking for a job. Fuyao will be hiring right on the spot. Again, I repeat, Fuyao will be hiring right on the spot. They are looking for production associates. Fuyao offers incentives like biweekly attendance bonuses, referral bonuses, 6-month pay increases, medical, dental, 8 paid holidays, and more. The hiring event is at our EOC, Employment Opportunity Center. It is Thursday, January 6th from 10 to 2. So again, for those looking for a job, there are many openings around the county. We have a team of professionals that can help you find a job. You can also stop by our other location at Edwin C. Moses, the Job Center, and you can go into the red door and find many opportunities. So either our West Dayton Employment Opportunity Center or our Job Center at Edwin Moses. Either way, the county is hiring, employers are hiring. Please stop by if you're looking for work or you're looking for job training. Thank you, Commissioners.
As we prepare to ring in the new year, 2022, can't believe it, we want to make sure that we all start off on the right foot regarding the safety of our staff and customers at our solid waste district's transfer station. Recently, we have noticed an increase of hazardous material entering our facility through the commercial tipping floor. Unacceptable materials including lithium batteries, aerosol cans or compressed gas cylinders, propane tanks, rags which have been used to clean up hazardous chemicals, fluorescent lamps, and more. Thankfully, we've had no serious injuries, but please remember that not everything can be thrown away in your regular trash. Now, we have a full list of unacceptable material on our website at www.mcswd, that's mcswd.org. Our household hazardous waste program is one of the best in our region, and we encourage you to take full advantage of it, but please, please keep safety in mind. We do not want any accidents out there. Now, the transfer station and recycling center is going to be operating different hours here over the holidays. Christmas Eve, which is Friday, December 24th, we're closing early at 4 o'clock. Christmas Day, Saturday the 25th, we're closed all day. New Year's Eve, Friday, December 31st, closing early at 5 o'clock. And New Year's Day, Saturday, January 1st, we're closed all day. So, thank you. Who's next?
Wait.
Okay.
Since we were on the topic of recycling, I will take that. So our Environmental Services Department, thank you, Matt, they have arranged for another special recycling event for styrofoam on January 8th from 9 to 1. And that will be in Centerville at the Activity Center at 221 North Main Street in Centerville. And I've noticed in the last month or so, some of our other jurisdictions are collecting it and then they're gonna take it to Centerville. So I think that's great. I know I saw some that Oakwood's doing it and I can't remember who else, maybe Clayton. But did somebody shout out a name over there? I don't know. Somebody else is. And I think it's great. And then they'll take it, to this event. This will be our fourth event. We've done this 3 other times in the past year. And we have collected 2 semi-truckers, 2 full semi-trucks of styrofoam. That's pretty amazing. And we work with a Mason-based company, Eco Development, and they process the styrofoam and then they sell it to other companies that make surfboards, picture frames, and other good things instead of bad things. Definitely good things. I just wonder what other kind of good things they are. Well, the surfboard, yeah, maybe boogie boards too. Okay. If someone in your home receives electronics, appliance, or something else that is packed in styrofoam, I've already gotten a few. It's amazing what they use to keep things safe. Please consider taking it to this recycling event so that we can keep all that styrofoam out of our transfer station and of course then out of the landfill. So thank you very much.
And did you say, one thing and maybe you said it, I just didn't hear it, is that the food containers, they can't take those, even if you wash them, they have food remains in there. So people got pretty aggravated if they'd saved all of these and they took them there and then they couldn't accept them. So just be aware of that. Don't take them, that company, it's just the oils and everything mess up the machinery. So that's why. So just to avoid aggravation.
Good point.
And on a different note, today is National Homeless Persons Memorial Day. And we recognize that at noon today at Courthouse Square. And a very somber occasion. The names of 49 local homeless persons who have died in the past year were read along with the bell, so it's very touching. It was truly moving. And last year, nearly 3,500 households experienced homelessness in Montgomery County. 3,500. Our Homeless Solutions Policy Board is working to end homelessness in our county. We've made great strides, and there's no doubt about that, but we still have a lot of work to do. And I'm pleased to sit on that board, and we want to make sure we know that housing is like the first step in this. We want to make sure that everyone has a safe, affordable place to call home. And at today's event, we collected new or gently used coats, hats, gloves, and scarves to help those who may be experiencing homelessness, because it's quite cold. I just happen to not have my gloves on, and I noticed it within a half hour. I cannot really imagine living outside during days like this. Miami Valley Housing Opportunities Path Street Outreach is in the business of distributing these items to those who need them the most. So as we are all celebrating the holidays, and I wish each and every person here wonderful holidays, and may we have a wonderful, happy new year. Let's keep our homeless in mind this holiday season. And as we said, look them in the eye, don't overlook them, and consider helping them out too if you have a chance. And on that note, I just wish everyone, I think this is our last meeting of the year. And so it's hard to believe we're at the end of the year already, but it's truly been a great year. We've had a lot of issues, but we've come a long ways, and I'm looking forward to an even better 2022. So everyone stay safe. The pandemic is still out there, raging.
Yep.
And this new the new variant is really taking hold, so we're not through this. So I just wish everyone be safe and healthy and enjoy your time with family, friends, and your community.
I second that. And there will be no commission meeting on Tuesday, December 28th or January 4th of 2022. Our next meeting is going to be Tuesday, January the 11th at 1:30.
I move to adjourn.
All those in favor?
Aye.